Hello, my name is Mia Barrett. I helped create Fantasy Sports Math League, and I'm so excited that you'll be using this program with your students this semester. We have found that this program is really helpful in getting students to feel less anxious about math, feel more confident using math, and to have more skills and to see themselves as a math person. We worked with teachers to develop and refine this program. We want it to be as easy for you to implement and to slot into your existing curriculum and lesson plans as possible. There are a few things that you need to do to get started, so I'm going to walk through those. The first one is to prep the tech. Depending on your IT department, you may need to have this website approved for access to your students. And so it is fantasysportsmathleague.com. It is just the one link for both the teacher and the student side of things. There's no dual factor authentication or anything like that that you need to worry about. It does not work on tablets and phones, so laptops, desktop, Chromebooks, all good. So once you've gotten that approved and you've created your account on the teacher's side, so go to fantasysportsmathleague.com/sign up. On the teacher portal side of the page, then you will be able to create a league. So you can have up to 50 students in a league, but we really recommend having one league per classroom or one league per club rather than having multiple classes in one league. It just gets the competition is much more fun if it is spread out. So each league, when you create them, you will give it a specific name. You can name it whatever you want. And then it will automatically create a code, and then you will add a password. And that code and password you'll share with the students that you want in that specific league. So they will enter that when they sign up. Next up, I would recommend reviewing the lesson plans and the activities. There are 6 core lesson plans for Fantasy Sports Math League. Each of them are aligned with standards. The first 2 are really important for getting students to understand what fantasy sports is. Many students have not played fantasy football before. Some of them really have already, so they can be, the experts in the classroom. Feel free to pull them in. But the first 2 are really about using data to make decisions and making budgeting decisions as they draft their team. And the drafting is really fun. But all 6 of those lesson plans are really great. There's also a foundational lesson plan if your students need an extra support with fractions or need a reminder about fractions. And there are also extension activities that are all STEAM-based. Some of those have been supplied to us by previous teachers who have played Fantasy Sports Math League and come up with really great STEAM activities that they shared with us. Some of them came from our in-house curriculum developer. The next one is to build the hype. So we want you to share the excitement about fantasy sports and about math with your students, to explain to them what fantasy football is, what their goal is, why we're playing the game, and to get students who are experts in football to start talking and sharing their expertise, and students who are good at math to start sharing their expertise, and to help them think about how these 2 worlds really do overlap. You can let them know that they will be a team manager and that they get to name their team, they get to design their they get to create their logo or pick their logo, and they get to choose their players. So you can get them to start thinking about and talking about who they would draft and why. Maybe they go home, maybe they talk to their parents or their guardians about who they would draft, and just get the excitement going. Then you can help the students create their team. We also recommend that you create a team in the league so that you can play along with them and compete. They love competing against their teacher, of course. You can invite other adults in if you would like. We've had principals, assistant principals play, parents, other folks who you want to start building that community and bring in those trusted adults. So the students will go to fantasysportsmathleague.com/join league. They will create an account, they will enter their email. We don't email them, it's really just an identifier. So then they enter that and their code and password, and then they get to create their team. So they choose a mascot, they choose their team colors, and they name their team. Students have 5 things that they need to do each week to manage their team and to earn points. The first one is to check the box scores. So the box scores from the previous games are uploaded into the system automatically at Tuesday early in the morning. So the students can come in on Tuesday, check the box scores, see how their team did. Then they can calculate their fantasy points, so determine how many points their chosen players earned. They have until Thursday afternoon to do that. Then they can create and upload graphs and do some data analytics. They earn MVP points for doing more graphing. They can check the leaderboards. So there are 3 leaderboards, so they can see how other teams are doing. They can compare their own team points from previous weeks, and they can see the MVP leaderboard. The last thing to do is to set a new lineup, so they have until Thursday afternoon to pick which players they want in the upcoming games and which players they want to leave on the bench. There are lesson plans for each of these activities to help you think about the decision making that goes into setting a lineup, so some of the performance data analytics. So then, as the teacher, you get to determine the challenge level of Fantasy Sports Math League. We have 4 different levels. We have a beginner fraction, an advanced fraction, a beginner decimal, and an advanced decimal. They are balanced, so someone who is advanced is not earning more points than the beginner students. They all earn, it evens out, but it is a more challenging math level in the advanced, and so you can tailor that by student in the teacher portal. I would also recommend that you check out the tips and guides. We have an entire comprehensive teacher guide with more information about how to facilitate this program, and it includes insights and tips and tricks from other educators, lots of information. Of course, if you have any questions, you can always reach out to us at Fantasy Sports Math League at diffusioninc.com with any questions, and we'll be happy to help you. There is a little calendar that is helpful to know the cadence of the game. During the fall when NFL is playing, you can obviously watch the games Thursday night to Monday night, and then like I said, it does update. The system updates early in the morning Tuesday, so that's when you can calculate your box scores, calculate your points, check the box scores, you can create graphs, and you can check the leaderboards and set your lineup. So between games is when Fantasy Sports Math League is really meant to be played, so Tuesday to Thursday afternoon. You can play year-round, so that's sort of when NFL games are being played. The same cadence happens year-round. We do use historical data in the winter, spring, and summer, but you are playing with real games that happened in the past. They all get sort of mixed together so no one can cheat, and then you can still draft and set lineups exactly the same game, just the NFL's not playing, obviously. So some teachers have found that they will play Fantasy Sports Math League in the fall when NFL is playing. Students get really into it, they get really good with the fractions, they get good with thinking about data-informed decision making, and then in the spring when they get really into graphing, they come back to Fantasy Sports Math League and use the data analytics and the graphing element of this game to supplement and support the graphing lessons. So use it however you want, play year-round if you want, and we're excited to have you, and please let us know how it goes.